Are you calling from a 518 area code? Who's this? Where are you calling from? Could be calling from overseas. Hello? Yes?
Hello.
Hello?
Shalom.
Yes?
I'm calling from Israel.
You're calling from Israel?
Yeah. I'm calling on Fire LTC.
Okay.
First of all, I say that Yusuf nailed this completely.
You agree with Yusuf.
Hello?
Hello? You say you agree with Yusuf.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Uri.
Ari? Okay. And so
Yes.
you agree with Yusuf. I mean, what specifically?
Pretty much everything. So, I'm a kibbutznik from the north. So, I'm kind of left-leaning from the beginning, but it's very hard to be a left in Israel now.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any mass movement of people in Israel at this point that agree with your assessment?
Yeah. I don't know if you would call it mass because it's thousands. It's not more than that, but the thing is in Israel that the propaganda is so steep into the psychic of people. So it's almost impossible to get out of it. Even if what you believe is that everyone deserves a fair chance. So I don't really know.
As someone on
Yeah.
the left in Israel, do you feel increasing there's a lot of reporting on, legislation to sort of target funding of different groups, sort of go after even the sort of liberal legacy of Israel inside 67 Israel itself. Do you feel a different tone, a different type of threat as an Israeli who actually, cares about these things?
Yeah. The problem is since we have the same process with the media as in the US, but basically making the media a business, we basically lost all support in the establishment. So Israel is one of the most censorizing country in the world. Self-censorship.
Yeah.
So it's like Adelson
That's one of the biggest.
Adelson's one of the most major newspaper owners in Israel, right?
Yeah, and it's a free newspaper. That makes it a lot worse. It's not, you don't pay money for it. So yeah, people read that, but television is also awful here and got worse because Bibi is meddling with it all the time. There's a thing with licensing that the government has to approve the license every time, and there used to be separation, but there isn't separation now between what they can do and what they can't do. So basically, if you want to broadcast, you need
Jamie has a question.
Yes.
As someone who is on the left and is critical of the government's actions in Israel, how did you come around to this position yourself? Where did you get your information?
Basically reading constantly. I have this problem. If I don't know something, I have to read about it right now, even if I don't want to. So I constantly read.
Have you thought about hosting a podcast?
Well, he just said they need a podcast license to host a podcast in Israel. That's kind of extraordinary. The TV thing doesn't surprise me, but the podcasting thing, that's like very much of an authoritarian, non-Western style government. That's far out.
And what news sources have you been reading? I'm curious.
I stopped reading the local ones. There's not any news sources that are worth anything, worth my time anyway. 972 is okay, but it comes with a huge delay and it's a very small bubble of people. It's not.
Do you read Gideon Levy?
It's like a cell.
Do you read Gideon Levy?
What?
Gideon Levy, He still writes for Haaretz, right?
My father reads him. Yeah, my father reads him, but no, I'm basically kind of gave up on anything in Hebrew. So I basically get my news from MR and TYT
So
and TMBS.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, so what? I mean, when you think about the future in Israel, what are you? I mean, what do you contemplate going forward? I mean, both for the country and for yourself? I mean, are and your friends who may be like-minded, like what is their disposition? Do you guys feel like there's a future in that country, or that? I mean, what give me your sense of that.
I don't think so. I don't think there's a future here. I tried moving away a couple of times, but because of my disposition, I can't work, so I have to stay here. So I'm kind of stuck here. I tried to move to Sweden because my brother lives there, but that's about it. It's getting worse all the time, basically. Hello?
Hello, and
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are there folks on the kibbutz? I mean, is the kibbutz that you're on? Is it more or less folks who tend to agree with your perspective, or I mean, because kibbutzes are theoretically, at least, sort of would be the more or less. I would imagine, about as far left as you're going to be getting in, or at least a center for leftism in Israel. Is that still the case?
No, not really. It's kind of complex to talk about left in the context of kibbutzim because you end up coming with a nationalistic left, like a socialist nationalist thing.
Huh.
So it's very hard. It's more of an economic, and on face we say we're okay with everyone, but there were no Arabs admitted to the kibbutz that went in, and there's other problems.
Do you vote?
Voting is turning right. I vote with the unified list.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Because there. What?
Okay, well, Ari,
For some context, there's. Yeah.
Go ahead. Give that context.
There's 900 people in my kibbutz. Out of them, 2 people voted to the unified. That's me and my father, hilariously. And 18 voted to Shas, and a lot, and like almost 20 to the far right, which most of 60% is like what used to be the Labour Party. Now it's some stupid party. And about 20 people voted to Meretz, and that's about it.
Wow. Well,
So,
Ari, I appreciate the call and giving us your perspective. And I should just also mention, Unified is the Arab and Jew communist, basically one state.
no, it's not anymore. It's a mixed bag.
Okay.
It's a mix of
Ecumenical, I guess. All right. Well, listen, Ari, I appreciate the call.
Okay.
Thank you for the perspective. Hang in there, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Keep it coming.
All right, will do.
Left is best.
left is best. That's right.